Hi, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Chris Petri. Welcome, everybody. Today we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to paint a lighthouse. Um, we're just going to talk about, first off, here, the beautiful light that's in this photograph we're going to use for our reference. I really enjoy using photographs a lot to do sketches, practice, and also my finished works as well. I use photographs at times. I also like to use outdoor painting and drawing as well as something to brush up on my skills. But most times I work in the studio when I'm doing my finished paintings. I find that it's much more comfortable and there's a lot less things that can be a distraction versus being out in the field in plein air painting. So I do use a lot of photographs and work a lot inside the studio. And so here we're just looking at a beautiful photograph of a lighthouse in Washington. It's a pre-Civil War lighthouse that's been restored. And what we're going to do here is just discuss the light in the picture. It's really powerful. Light coming from the left side up here across the picture. And you can see how the walls of this building and the side of the lighthouse are really lit up beautifully. So that's a really exciting thing I find in watercolor paintings is being able to, take advantage of the beautiful sunlight in outdoor photographs and being out in plein air painting and sketching and drawing and working outdoors. So here we're going to try to capture this in our painting, that powerful, beautiful sunlight coming across the building, striking the white stucco on this lighthouse and attached building. We're going to have fun. First, we're going to do a quick contour drawing of this, and then we'll go on to part 2 and part 3 and do the painting. Okay, so I'll click go, and we're going to move the photograph and put that across from us on the table. And we have watercolor paper here. This looks Arches paper. I have it taped down with artist tape around all 4 sides. And then when I'm completed with the painting, I'll pull off the tape, and that'll have a nice, clean, sharp border for the surrounding of the painting. So we're going to contour draw. We're going to use a mechanical pencil. And here we're just, I'm adjusting the book across from me just to make sure that it stays open while I'm drawing, and we're beginning the drawing now. If you find that you want to do this exercise or this painting itself, you can easily take a photograph of the painting at some point in one of the videos and then print it out on a printer, or leave it, or you could also, I guess, leave it on a device, either an iPhone or an iPad or a computer, a laptop. And you could use that as your reference, or you could pick another lighthouse or in a book or in a library. There's plenty of books on lighthouses as well on Google. If you search Google lighthouses, photographs of lighthouses, you'll find a lot of lighthouses, and I'm sure many of them have the same similar beautiful photography and the lighting similar to this. So here we're contour drawing, and I'm just constantly looking back and forth at the photograph that I'm sketching, or contour drawing, I should say. Checking all my angles and sizes of things. And here we're drawing the roof. And I check all my angles when I when I'm contour drawing, I'm looking at the photograph across from me, and I'm making sure that when I stop here for my edge of my roof, I see that it's right directly below this area here. And these are the bushes and weeds along the side of the picture. And we're doing some more rooftop here. And we have this, we started with the lighthouse shape over here. And then I'm going to put the metal, it's a metal roof on this building. So I'm just putting the lines, roughly drawing them in. And I'm doing another window there. So we're just moving along. We're contour drawing, and I'm again just constantly looking across, back and forth from the photograph to my drawing. And then with stuff like weeds and bushes and things, I'm a little more, carefree with it. I don't have to be so detailed about it. I just kind of put in some indications of the line of where the tops of the bushes are and the weeds along this side over here. And that's the railings going down to the lower level of the lighthouse building. And those are two arches, two arched structural components of the building. Those are actually the two archways that you walk into from here going down. And then here we're doing the other bushes on the left side, and we're doing the lawn over here and more bushes and grass and weeds and things over here. Just an indication so that when I go in and paint, I kind of know what I want to do here. So I'm trying to capture what I see in the photograph somewhat. And then here I'm going to get in those last couple windows, and I'm just doing the stonework around the windows, just capturing those, and the stone sills underneath. They could be concrete or stone. And I'm trying to keep this fairly carefree and loose, this drawing. I'm not getting too precise. I'm not going to break out a ruler and try to get too precise with things. I want to have it somewhat carefree and fun. And doing some more windows on the lighthouse. And we're going to do the top of the lighthouse now. So that's the railings. And I make sure to capture that little roundness of the railings, when I carefully look at the photograph, I can see that there's a roundness to the railings when you're looking at it that go around the platform of the lighthouse at the top. And the same thing with the top of the lighthouse, the canopy that's over the top of the actual light inside the lighthouse. It's a steel covering. It's the actual rooftop of the light. And there's some window panes there. And I make sure to capture all those details roughly the way it's depicted in the photograph. Pretty close. I try to keep it somewhat quite accurate to the photograph. And then here I'm putting the trees that are on the back side of that lighthouse shape here. And that will help make that lighthouse a little more stand out a little more with darker trees on both sides, and then the lighthouse is obviously white. So we're going along really nicely here. I think we're pretty much wrapped up on our contour drawing, and we might put in a few more details here and there, maybe some lines for the roof. And I'll paint those in too later, the lines of the roof. But this is pretty much a completed contour drawing, and we'll be ready to paint real soon. So we're going to wrap up here, and we'll be ready to paint in a few. I'm just going to draw in a few more. This would be the shadow. So the lighthouse, actually, with the sunlight coming from this side of the sky, this lighthouse is casting a shadow right over here on this side of the wall. So we'll make sure to capture that in our painting. That'll make a really interesting, beautiful area That's going to make the shadow look really, really believable and accurate. And that, again, will be really nice because this color of the sky is very close to the color of the shadow on this white building. So that'll make it look really, really beautiful, and it'll make everything very three-dimensional. Okay, we'll be back in a second and we'll start our painting.